Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, July the 1st. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap up and the monthly open. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So, since we're starting the month, let's remember one thing. Let's not lose any more on any one particular trade than you're willing to lose. Risk management, very important. So, monthly open, we are 171 pips below the monthly open at the time. It's been one crazy day here. We've got over 200 pips in the range so far this month. What a way to open or to end the week, right? All the gaps but one have filled. The New Zealand CAD, for some strange reason, just didn't fill that gap. Once again, we've got a huge opening range for the month right here. Huge. Okay, if you notice, we're 1,521 pips below the yearly open. Yeah, I'm kind of chuckling. If you look left here on this daily chart, you can see we actually dipped below this green candle here, and then we've come back up out of that wick zone. So if you like trading wick zones, there was a nice trade to be had there. Inside bar, we broke out of the inside bar. I think I mentioned this because I didn't do yesterday's video till late at night. You can see here we broke out of the inside bar from 6 days ago and the weekly inside bar from 1 day ago, and there was plenty of inside bar action to be had if you're trading other pairs. 203 pips. More pairs are over 100 than under, and I think we've got more pairs over 200 than 100. In fact, the beast, the pound yen, is clocking in at 374. I guess the dollar got strong or something, because it's 300 pips below the open. So it's going to be one heck of a month, looks like. Buy zone traders, well, there was one or two short trades triggered, and if you rode those, you definitely rode them for a huge profit. Green rats, we just had price leave the green rat zone there. The smart rat at 1987 and the regular rat at 1996. Either way, there's some pips to be had. And the pivot trading plan, near R1 was short. Said near the pivot was long. Well, that may have paid out a few pips, but it's just crashed since then. The daily pivot was hit. The weekly pivot was hit. And we are below the monthly pivot by 239 pips at the moment. In and out of the upper wick zone, in and out of the lower wick zone. Looking at the ranges for the month so far, 203 pips. Huge, huge, huge. And so far, we're an inside bar. We haven't broken out of the previous month's high or low. Looking at the weekly, you can see 357 pips on the week. More than twice of what happened last week. So we had that small range here, broke out both sides. To the upside, we had 8 pips, but to the downside, we had 185. The weekly range, high minus the close, 328 for red rats. Close minus low right now is 29 for green rats. the wall mall lines. Once again, simple horizontal trades. And I was just noticing something. We've broken the previous H1 low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe that broke it by a point. 8 bars in a row. 8 hours in a row, we broke the previous H1 low. So sometimes when you're looking at your charts and you're trading, if you can just sit back, you can go, wow, there's a lot of price action there. You just have to recognize it. We had a lower high trigger here that's triggered. Let's see, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to go against the candle color, 6 times. Could have gone long off of the 1992 area, putting in a 1 ball there, see if it'll go up and make a new 2 or 3 ball before the day is over. Okay, so for the month of June, 683 pips. So far, July, once again, 203 pips. Looking at these ranges by month. So for July, it looks like something must be wrong with the data here in 2012. I can't believe that's only 12 pips. I'll have to check that out. But it looks like we probably want to, well, let's look at the ATR. That's the thing we want to check. So show the ATR. So 445. So we're about halfway, 2/3 of the way. No, 2/5 of the way there already. So just so you can see what these ranges look like on the ATR. You can look at the year-to-date accumulated range. So we haven't quite increased the range this month yet. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But we're up to 1,815 pips range. So if you look back over these years, so it's more than 2021. We haven't quite hit 2020. We were 2018. So we'll just have to wait and see what they have in store for the range of the pound. And just looking at the monthly chart, once again, we are 450 plus pips away from the EMA 5. We're inside the previous month's lower wick zone. Price is still turning down because we were up, then we turned. So that's what that means. Sellers strong control based on the control formula. We're below the previous mid. We're below the pivot. And I'm supposed to buy the pivot at 22.42. We'll have to wait for price to get there though, right? And for the week, we're 220 plus pips away from the EMA 5. Previous bar was inside bar. We've been over that. We're below the open there. I was trying to look and see. I guess I don't have that indicator on any of these charts. I wanted to show you something. Now we can do that next week. Right now, the current range is only 9 pips, but you can see what we've done over the past 9 hours. So it looks like there's some more range to be had. So price might want to take off from the 1.2 area, 1.2 triple O, and we'll just see what happens. There's definitely a lot of price action around this double O. And then we're back to the double O. And we just cracked it. See if the range starts to increase. It just did by a pip. And we can see here price is bouncing from this area where it bounced from previously. So that's why we say look left, you can see what price is doing and maybe anticipate what it might do. And then when it does what you anticipated, then you can jump in. You get the confirmation. So it's pretty range bound trading at the moment. And I mentioned I like to look at the candle colors using the multimeter. So this multimeter says it got a green bar. It's the first one. On M15, we got 4 greens in a row. But the other one I've been using a lot is the close minus open, because that tells me the candle color, but it also tells me how far away from the open price is. So I can start to get a clue. So like the M5, you see is 3.6, but H1 is less. So that M5 opened above that H1. And you can see here we're nearing the H4 open. And I can just show you which indicators I'm using. So that's the TRO 2021 multimeter close open right there. And then the candle color is the TRO 2017 multimeter candle color. We just put in a 2-ball. So we'll see if they take it up to a 3-ball. Because I guess there was some news or something came out and it got rejected at 18. So there was a big push there. I'm just wondering if it's going to come back up into that area. And we'll have to see what happens. But you can see here price has been struggling to close above this area right here. It closed above it once since right here, that break. But we'll see if the buyers can push through. So, fellow traders, I hope you have a fun and safe holiday weekend if you're here in the U.S., and I hope you have a fun and safe holiday if you're not in the U.S., but it's July 4th weekend, so really be safe out there. And when you come back to your trading terminal next week, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And I believe Monday is a U.S. bank holiday, so might not be much price action happening. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.